Hello, and welcome to Grenorium Keeper. Today, I'm going to be discussing one of the most esoteric parts of Call of Duty Zombies, the real-life conspiracy theories that inspired a sizable amount of the Zombies storyline throughout the years. The first conspiracy I'll go over is the first to be mentioned in the Aether Story, Element 115. In Zombies, Element 115, also known as Divinium, is responsible for most of the supernatural things we see in the mode. The zombies, the Perca-Colas, all the advanced technology like the Pack-a-Punch machine, teleporters, and the ray gun, to name a few examples. Basically anything you see that's out of the ordinary, 9 times out of 10, it was caused by 115. In real life, however, Element 115 isn't nearly as exciting or world-ending as it is in Zombies. It's a synthetic chemical element known as moscovium, created by scientists at the Joint Institute for Nuclear Research in Russia in August 2003. That's not what we're here to discuss. That goes to the Element 115 discussed in real-life UFO conspiracy theories popularized by Robert Scott Lazar in the late 80s to early 90s. Bob Lazar claimed that he was a physicist who worked at S4, a facility which supposedly existed south of Area 51. He claims to have been responsible for helping reverse engineer extraterrestrial flying saucers that were fueled by a stable isotope of Element 115. Funnily enough, in Zombies, one of the many locations that Element 115 had been found was none other than Area 51, first discovered by the American government on June 14, 1937. As I said earlier, a lot of the advanced experimental technology we see throughout the Zombies mode is fueled by 115. Much of this technology was first invented by Group 935, a research group that specialized in 115-based studies, which later affiliated itself with Germany during the Second World War. For example, the teleporters, which are based off of the real-life conspiracy theory known as Die Glock, German for the bell. While initially described by Polish journalist Igor Witkowski in his book Prawda o Wunderwaffe, it would later be popularized by British author Nick Cook in his 2001 novel The Hunt for the Zero Point. Apparently, Die Glock was, as the name suggests, a bell-shaped device around 12 feet high and 9 feet in diameter that acted as a time machine, as well as having anti-gravitational properties. It was developed by the Nazis in Lower Silesia as part of the actual construction project known as Reese. Now, if that sounds familiar to you, it should, because this is the direct inspiration for the map Der Reese, where these teleporters were first developed. Furthermore, the teleporters themselves are directly based off of Die Glock's design, with even more references to the project in the form of the namesake of the Wunderwaffe DG2, Wunderwaffe DG1 Scharfschütze, and the Ragnarok DG4. Additionally, Der Reese is known for having one of the first Zombies Easter eggs, being the Flytrap Easter egg. To start the Easter egg, the player has to shoot a panel near a strange concrete structure. The structure you see in this Easter egg is based off of a similar structure near the site of the real Project Reese, known as the Mukolapka, Polish for flytrap. Also known as Hitler's Stonehenge, the unexplained nature of the structure, as well as its close proximity to the site of Project Reese, have led many to speculate the structure serves some sort of paranormal or otherwise unnatural purpose, such as acting as an entrance point for Nazi UFOs. Conspiracy theories regarding the Nazis didn't just dabble in science fiction, but the mystical and fantastical as well. Going back to Element 115, it is partially inspired by the Welteislehre, German word for world ice theory. It was first proposed by Austrian engineer Hans Horbiger, who theorized that ice was the fundamental substance of the universe. During the Nazis' rise to power, this theory became extremely popular amongst the higher-ups of the Reich, most notably Heinrich Himmler. In the context of Zombies, this world ice is yet another term for Element 115, as it is a physical version of the Aether that comprises all reality. Weltice is even directly mentioned in the GK Nova ARG for Black Ops 1, where a cipher was decoded which included the term, "Believe in the Weltice, and the dead start walking." And hell, as schizo as this sounds, if you take the numbers 935 and correspond them to the English alphabet, you get ice. The esoteric conspiracy theories present in zombies don't just stop at the world ice theory. Take, for instance, Agartha. Sound familiar? The physical manifestation of the Aether and setting of the map Revelations was directly inspired by a real-world conspiracy. In this conspiracy, Agartha is said to be a legendary kingdom located within the surface of a hollow earth. In the zombie storyline, Agartha is home to the Keepers, ancient godlike beings responsible for maintaining order across the multiverse. These Keepers themselves were the sigil of the Black Sun, itself associated with certain corners of the SS. Said sigil can be found on the uniforms we see Primus wear during the Great War, which themselves can be seen in the ending cutscenes of Revelations and Blood of the Dead. And we also see these sigils worn by the Crusader zombies in Origins. And while it isn't confirmed, it's theorized that we see this sun directly during Revelations, in the form of a giant blue Apothecan sun that seems to be the source of all 115. The Keepers and their dark cousins, the Apothecons, were first hinted at in zombies throughout Black Ops 1, where much of their technology, such as the Vril Rod and MPD, are associated with the Vril Ya, which originate from a sci-fi book titled Vril, The Power of the Coming Race, which describes a race of hyper-advanced humanoids who live under the earth. Furthermore, did you know that the VR-11, a wonder weapon introduced in Call of the Dead, is named after the Vril Ya? Get it? VRIL? VR-11? Let's just move on. Now we're going to talk about one of the most commonly known conspiracy theories. You know them, you hate them, you're hired by them to wiretap my house, the Illuminati. In zombies, the Illuminati are an influential figure in the lore of the Aether Story. For instance, both incarnations of Richtofen are affiliated with the Illuminati. We know that Ultimus Richtofen was a full-on member of the Illuminati, and the reason why he initially joined Group 935 is because the Illuminati sent him as a spy. As for Primus Richtofen, it is stated in the timeline that the Illuminati helped him build his secret lab under Alcatraz, being assisted by prison guard Stanley Ferguson. Additionally, the ubiquitous Eye of Providence, the symbol most often associated with the Illuminati and a staple of every early 2010s montage parody, can be found all over the Aether Story. It appears on various TVs on the map 5, Ascension, and Classified. It's also implied in a Gorod Krovi cipher that they may have had a few hands in Broken Arrow as well, as an agent states that the lab beneath Alcatraz is powered by a drill, likely the same drill from the Nuketown loading screen. And speaking of secret societies that also show up in Deus Ex, Majestic 12 also make a minor appearance within the lore of zombies, through the Black Ops terminals. In real life, Majestic 12 is reportedly a code name belonging to a secret organization of scientists, government officials, and military heads dedicated to the research of alien technology, chiefly UFOs. While the FBI declared the idea of Majestic 12's existence as, per their words, bogus, in zombies, they're anything but. Taking a look at the Black Ops terminals, there's a .txt file labeled MJ12, which labels some of Majestic 12's membership, which includes, but is not limited to, Albert Einstein, Werner von Braun, but most importantly, Vannevar Bush and J. Robert Oppenheimer, both involved with the Manhattan Project that led to the nuclear bomb. They have accounts on the Black Ops terminal, specifically on the Dreamland server. Logging into each of their accounts reveals a back and forth that took place in 1955, where they discuss the Verrückt outbreak, as well as the personal files of Dr. Maxis and his data servant system, which was sort of like an early internet in the Aether Story. This video is only scratching the surface of all the conspiracies that inspired the zombie storyline. If you guys would like a follow-up video on this topic, please be sure to let me know in the comments, and if you like this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing for future COD Zombies content. Our next video will be episode 2 of our Double Tap Trivia series. This has been Chronorium Keeper. Thanks for watching.
Who am I talking to?